about a CrossFitter I follow on Instagram, Brooke Wells. Anyway, and she had a sponsored ad talking about her, I guess, and that's her personal brand. That's how she makes money. It's like licensing who you are, or what your interests are, and like what are the products that represent you, or you represent, or you promote or support. You know what I mean? So, I like certain products. A lot of the products I like come from Costco, and that's why we're going there right now. Heading to Costco. What's up? This is DigiModels checking in. Heading to Costco right now to get some groceries and such. Trying to be lean, trying not to spend too much, because these have been tough times for everybody. And so you got to cut back on some of the luxuries like steak. I like steak, but it's $50 for the tenderloin, filet mignon we like to get, and then sous vide. But that costs like $50. It's like $25 to $30 for a pack of chicken, and you get like 6 of them, 6 packs. So that's like 6 meals for $30, or as the main protein for the meal. Then we get broccoli, which is like $10. That's good for like 4 packs. So we get like 2 packs of those. That's $20 for 8. So that's like a week's worth of meals. Forgot to add mashed potatoes, but you can supplement that with rice. And we interchange mashed potatoes and rice as well. And it's fine. And it really helps you lean out. Think about all the ways that you consume food and you gain fat. Okay, the human body. Everybody has different variations, of course, but everybody could, if they just had a caloric deficit, it means they consume less calories than they burn. Now, if you're just sitting down at a computer all day, you're not burning very many calories. If you're typing, what is that, like 1 calorie an hour? It's like nothing. It's nothing. Now, if you go to the gym and you sweat and you exert a lot of energy, right? A lot of power, of the force, the mass times acceleration, it's physics, and then that energy is released through heat, through your sweat, and boom, you go home, you feel exhausted, but you also just like primed your body for, accelerating your, what's it called, like your hormones and your digestion and your metabolism, right? Your metabolism goes on supercharge mode. So you need protein, and that's why we get broccoli for the fiber. Chicken, very low fat. A steak, high in fat. You know what I mean? So you can go to a high fat like diet, like that's what is it called? Oh man, I forgot that. It's like keto, there we go. Keto is like whenever your body goes into a state of ketosis, and that means that you have no more like starches to consume, so you're just consuming high fats, and that's where you get your energy. It's from high fats, like steak, good steak, but like cheese is not a good fat. So like whenever you're thinking about fats, like where do you get fat from? Consuming milk is high in fat from cows, right? A lot of fat content in the milk, but there's a lot of protein in the milk as well. So it's great for kids, but adults, they don't really digest it too well. So prepare yourself. And then cheese, right, comes from milk, high in fat. Just 1 piece of cheese is enough. Like if you go to In-N-Out, I get 1 piece of cheese. Some people get 2. Like if you're a girl, a woman, then maybe you want fat content. You don't want a manly like look of being too lean and too muscular, so maybe you consume a lot of fat, maybe from cheese or maybe like cheese pizza, and so you want to gain that weight. But it's all a balance of how much you burn and how much you stack on. So it's just like an in-out process, like programming, binary on and off. And it's like people are like, oh, how do I get to that level? It's like you have to have self-discipline. You have to be able to tell yourself, be in control, and say, hey, look, we're going to be serious. This is how you get serious. You educate yourself. And then you apply what you learn. That's wisdom, right? And so I've done that. Like, through CrossFit, I've learned that you're not supposed to consume sugar. There's not a real reason for it, right? You need protein and nutrients and all your vitamins. And that's the broccoli helps with fiber and protein as well. So you get a double hit of protein from the broccoli and the chicken. And the fiber comes with the broccoli to help you digest properly. And then the mashed potatoes or rice, that really helps fill you up with the starch. So it's good to have a balanced nutrition. And we consume that. And we also mix in intermittent fasting. So throughout the day, just don't eat. Or maybe eat a light snack. We get these fruit gummies from Costco as well. And they're good. So, they hold you over for a little bit, but that's still sugar, right? So if you can, you tell yourself, like, if you want to start at the baseline, 0, like, just say, I'm not going to eat anything for the whole day. That's extreme, right? You're going to be hella hungry the next day. Maybe you'll even make up for it by consuming even more, which is not a good practice either, right? So to make up for it, and then all that starch, like compressed wheat crap, like it's in cereal and all the crackers and the chips, that's not good for you. I found these protein chips at Costco. I'll have I'll eat like 5 of them. I'm like, oh dang, that's too much, right? But it's protein chips, so it's kind of hard to get mad at that. I'll say that they're a little salty, and so you got to watch your sodium. That increases your heart rate, not just yours, every human, right? These are objective facts. High sodium, high heart rate, high fat content, higher risk of heart attack, right? High starch intake. You're gonna have a high body fat count. Bread makes you fat. Don't eat a lot of bread. You're gonna mix it with butter. That's a high calorie because it's oil. It's like condensed fat in a liquid form, liquidish solid form. It's not good for you. Butter's not good. Avoid butter. Avoid bread. Avoid sugar. I know it's hard, but you got to do it. Self-discipline. If you want to be serious about changing your life, changing the lifestyle, like losing the fat, getting fit, you got to start burning that energy. And you're going to feel better after you do so. That's what the endorphins come from. You got 4 chemicals in your brain that really make you feel good. Some of them are like when you're by yourself, and some of them are whenever you're with a team and you succeed. So you have endorphins, you have dopamine, and then you have serotonin and oxytocin. And understanding that you have those chemicals inside your mind and your brain every time an event happens externally in the world, you can internally process that as, hey, the human, objectively, is feeling sensations from the rise in these chemicals in the brain because of some elements and events that are happening in the external world. Should that affect my internal state? Maybe not. Maybe if I have like an internal state of a Zen Buddhist monk, right? It's like, I'm not trying to harm the world. I'm not trying to negatively influence it or exert my influence and dominance over weaker entities just to get my way or manipulate the world how I want so it can work in my favor. Monks just let the world be, for the most part. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were like, sometimes you have hypocrites, right? And the monks, they were going outside, like spraying insecticide, right? Like ant killer all over bugs. And the guy came out and he's like, what the hell? He's like, aren't y'all monks? You're supposed to respect all life. And they're like, oh yes, it is sad, but if the ants get in there, then they eat all our food and then we suffer, and that's how it all unfolds. So not everybody can be noble in their pursuit of lifelong harmony with the universe. So it's all about energy. You know, sometimes I'm like in a tanning bed, like getting my tan on, getting darker and stuff, and I feel like I'm in like a little space pod, like getting heated up. Like, what if we were in space? Like, what if I was just thriving in space? I would like, oh my gosh, this old little lady. Okay, I would like all my nutrients, like from like bananas and apples and protein, and like my ideal meal I was just talking about. And then I'd like to get vitamin D from the tanning salon that I'm in space. And then I like to float around the earth or something and look at and like have like maybe a VR or augmented reality of like green and peaceful like nature and stuff. All right, DigiModels out, guys. Thanks for tuning in.